Hey guys, welcome to Never in the Red. My name is Renee, and here today we're going to be wrapping up our last video for our series on budgeting basics. It's been pretty good so far. We really went into how to identify what we need, how to make sure that we're setting our goals appropriately for each one of us, and then lastly, how to organize what we are doing in terms of getting this budget together so that we can make the most out of it. Remember, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. We are setting out videos every single Saturday to give you guys the most quality content and make the best part of your financial situation happen. So let's get started. Okay guys, we've got it today, benchmarking. We've done all the things that we need to do to make sure that we're gonna be successful. Got our needs and our wants put together, got our goals kind of set to understand on an annual basis, how are we going to structure our lives to be able to meet these goals, along with underlying the organization of that. So remember, organization's gonna be very technical. I really encourage you guys to watch some of the videos that we'll have come out on exactly how to set up that Excel to get you to where you need to be to set up the next part of this, which is benchmarking. So none of this matters if you have no idea how far you got, right? So really, how do we make that happen? Well, all the steps coming up to it were really important. But now that we get into it and we see what we spend, we have actuals to budget. So the way that this works is that you're gonna have that organizational tool that you built, right? And you're gonna have your revenue, you're gonna have your expenses, and you're gonna say, okay, I'm here. Now I've got to a place where I've got a little bit over and I'm gonna make a decision on what to do with that. Like we talked about last time, do I save it? Do I put it towards some sort of pool where I'm going to do something else with it? How do I sort of function with that, right? But now what we're gonna do is to say, these were all preliminaries. This is what I expect to do. And now we're gonna come over here and we're gonna say, well, what were my actuals, right? And so my actuals could look the same, they could look different than what we had expected. And this could be positive, this could be negative. We don't know unless we actually go through that process. So what I would really encourage you guys to do is to look at these videos that we're gonna come out with that talk about how the organizational process works within Excel. Excel is gonna be a very good tool for you to be able to set up some long-term success with being able to budget your financial life. So if you can't do that, right, if you don't have access to a tool like Excel or Google Sheets, which is something I've always had a very interesting relationship with, if you will. I work exclusively in Excel. So what I'd like to know is how many of you guys work in Excel versus work in Google Sheets? They're not the same, so that we're all clear. They're very different. But they do have a similar understanding of the way that they work. So I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say. But regardless of that, you can also do this on paper. It just takes a little bit more time. So big understanding here is that we're gonna take what did we expect to do? We set that all up last week. What are we actually doing? So how did we actually spend? And where are we gonna get to? And so benchmarking can become a little bit more of a process, because as you spend your money, you actually need to put them into the buckets that you have determined in your organization process. So what I would say is that these are really basics. This is just the concepts today. We're talking about how do we set things up? How do we understand what budgeting is? And really it's just 4 things: identification, setting goals, organizing it so that you can understand what your budget is, and then lastly, how do we benchmark that? What are the actuals that we've spent in comparison to what we budgeted? And I really, really encourage you guys to make sure that you check out these other tools that we have and begin to set this budgeting up for yourself in a real way and see some of the fruits of these efforts that you're gonna make to make the most out of your situation. Thank you guys so much for joining us here at Never in the Red. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.